Good evening, respected colleagues. ডিরেক্টলি আমরা ওয়েবিনার শুরু করার আগে আমি কয়েকটা নিয়মাবলী একটু বলে দিতে চাই। আমরা অ্যাট দি এন্ড অফ দি ওয়েবিনার অর রাদার ফিনিশিং এর আগে আমরা ফিডব্যাক লিঙ্ক দেব। আপনারা সেই ফিডব্যাক লিঙ্ক ফিল ইন করবেন এবং সেই ফিডব্যাক লিঙ্ক 30 মিনিটের জন্য অ্যাক্টিভ থাকবে। ইট ইজ অনলি আফটার ইউ ফিল ইন দ্য ফিডব্যাক লিঙ্ক দেন অনলি দ্যাট উই ক্যান রিলিজ দি সার্টিফিকেট। ফিডব্যাক লিঙ্ক না ফিল ইন করলে কিন্তু আমরা সার্টিফিকেট দিতে পারবো না। আর আপনাদের যদি কোনো কোয়েশ্চেন থাকে আমাদের রিসোর্স পার্সনের কাছে, আপনারা চ্যাট বক্সে কাইন্ডলি সেটা লিখে দেবেন।
ফাইনালি আমি বলবো যে আমাদের আউটসাইড অফ ওয়েস্ট বেঙ্গল থেকে অনেকে জয়েন করেছেন, সো দ্যাট একবার ইংলিশে বলে দাও।
Okay. The basic procedure for getting the certificate is that we will be providing a feedback link at the end of the webinar that will be active for 30 minutes. So all the participants are requested to fill in the feedback link. It is only if you successfully fill in the feedback link that we can release the certificate against your name. And if you have any question to our respected resource person, you are requested to put it in the chat box. We will be conveying those questions to our resource person. অসিত দা কি জয়েন করেছেন?
আমি এখনো দেখতে পাচ্ছি না, আশা করছি জয়েন করবে।
Minute. We will wait for a minute or two. Ashita will join very soon.
স্যার, আমাদের IQAC কোঅর্ডিনেটর ডক্টর অসিত পান্ডা উনি জয়েন করলেই আমরা আমাদের প্রোগ্রাম শুরু করে দেব স্যার।
হ্যাঁ, জয়েন করেছেন।
ওকে
স্যার জয়েন করেছেন?
ইয়েস।
আচ্ছা, বলি আমি একটা কথা একটু জেনে নিই, আমি তাহলে বাংলায় বলবো না ইংলিশেই বলবো, আমাকে একটু কনফার্ম করে দিন। এই বিষয়টা দুটোই আমার কোনো অসুবিধা নেই, কিন্তু বাংলায় বললে একটু বেশি গভীরে যাওয়া যাবে আর কি। আরো দুটোই ব্যবহার করি মাঝে মাঝে, নাকি মাঝে মাঝে ইংলিশ মাঝে মাঝে বাংলা?
হ্যাঁ, সেটাই ভালো হবে স্যার। তবে আমি দেখতে পাচ্ছি যে আমাদের পার্টিসিপেন্টসদের মধ্যে কয়েকজন আছেন যেটা দেখে মনে হচ্ছে যে দে আর আউটসাইড ফ্রম ওয়েস্ট বেঙ্গল।
তাহলে তো ইংলিশ বলতেই হবে। ঠিক আছে ওকে।
স্যার, আমার মনে হয় যে আমরা একটু জিজ্ঞেস করে নিতে পারি, তাহলেও মনে হয় এটা বেটার হবে।
ঠিক আছে, দেখুন।
May we begin our program?
Shirley?
Yes, may we begin our program?
Yes. একটু তার আগে একটু কোয়েরি করে নাও যে if there is anybody from outside of West Bengal. Is there any?
If we have any participants who has difficulty in understanding Bengali, can you please come up and share that whether we can make it bilingual or exclusively in English or in Bengali? Or will it be comfortable for you if we make it bilingual? Is there any participant outside West Bengal, or is there any participant who has extremely difficulty in understanding Bengali? Since we have a mixed participant who understands both English and Bengali, I think bilingual mode will be fine.
Exactly.
Exactly. Okay.
Okay. Mr.
Somebody has
Mujibur
replied.
Rahman,
Yeah.
yes, Mr. Mujibur Rahman has replied that only English. Sir, our resource person will speak in English. Okay, there is another participant who is saying that can't understand Bengali.
Yes.
Okay, so I think bilingual mode will be more feasible.
No problem, no problem, no problem.
Okay, thank you, sir. So, Dr. Ponda, can we begin our program?
Sure, sure.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, respected principal, esteemed resource person, and dear colleagues. On behalf of the organizing committee, I welcome you all to this one-day webinar on universal human values and professional ethics for teaching personalities, organized by the IQAC in association with the Internal Complaints Committee, ICC, Grievance Redressal Cell, and Disciplinary Committee, Belda College. We will begin our program with the welcome address. I invite Dr. Ashit Ponda, Coordinator IQAC and Assistant Professor and Head, Department of English, Belda College, to deliver the welcome address.
Thank you. I hope I am audible, Sohaili.
Yes, yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
Dr.
please.
Ponda, you are audible.
Okay. Respected principal and patron of this webinar, Dr. Manavendra Mondal, our esteemed resource person, Professor Tapan Kumar De, who is currently working as a professor at the Department of Philosophy, Vidyasagar University, respected members of the webinar organizing committee, and all my fellow colleagues who have joined this webinar with too much enthusiasm. It's my pleasure to welcome you all at the inaugural ceremony of the one-day webinar on universal human values and professional ethics for teaching personalities, organized by the IQAC, Belda College, in association with Internal Complaints Committee, Grievance Redressal Cell, and Disciplinary Committee. Ladies and gentlemen, it's really a privilege and honor for me to deliver the welcome address in such a significant program on such a pertinent topic like professional ethics in front of the teaching fraternity, especially. At the outset, I must say that today's webinar has been organized on a seminal topic which is of perennial interest to the persons associated with the profession of teaching. All of you know about the NAC guidelines, and as per the NAC guidelines, HEI should sensitize their students and employees to the values, rights, duties, and responsibilities of citizens. HEI must have prescribed code of conduct and publish code of conduct handbook, which should be displayed on the website. And in every HEI, there must be a code of conduct and professional ethics committee, which will not only identify the code of conduct for different stakeholders, such as students, teachers, administrators, and other staff, but also monitor regular adherence to the code of conduct by periodic announcements to the stakeholders in the form of notices, circulars, etc. And this committee will also assist the disciplinary committee in undertaking appropriate disciplinary actions in instances of violations of the specified code of conduct. Now, being the employees of an HCI, we the teachers enjoy certain privileges and rights, but at the same time, we must not forget that with rights come duties and responsibilities. And we have a lot of responsibilities towards our students, towards guardians and society, which we must fulfill. Whoever adopts teaching as a profession assumes the obligation to conduct himself or herself in accordance with the ideal of the profession. A teacher is constantly under the scrutiny of its students and the society at large, and therefore every teacher should see that there is no incompatibility between his precepts and his practice and the national ideals of education which have already been set forth and which he or she should seek to inculcate among students must be his or her own ideals. And this profession of teaching also requires that the teacher should be calm, should be patient, should be humble, and he must be communicative by temperament and amiable in disposition. All of you know that teaching is a noble profession, and like any other profession, to improve the working environment at the workplace, the profession of teaching also demands that professional ethics be maintained by the teachers, or certain specific guidelines regarding duties and demeanor or conduct are followed by the teachers at their workplace. And our teachers should adhere to a responsible and ideal pattern of conduct and demeanor expected of them by the community. Teachers are the builders of our future generations, who often regard them as their role models. Hence, it is desirable that teachers be sufficiently careful while dealing with their colleagues, students, guardians, or authorities, since any type of misconduct would lower his or her high position in the eyes of the students and the larger society. And teachers must discharge their professional responsibilities according to the existing rules and adhere to procedures and methods consistent with their profession. We are privileged to have among us today eminent academic Professor Tapon Kumar De, who is currently working as the Dean, Faculty Council for Postgraduate Studies in Arts and Commerce, and Professor, Department of Philosophy, Vidyasagar University, as our Honorable Resource Person. In his address, Professor De will focus on explaining the need of internalization of values and ethical behavior in our professional lives, and help the teachers understand the principles and ideal code of conduct which have been identified to serve as guidelines for teachers' conduct at their workplace. Now, despite being extremely busy as one of the key faculty members involved in the ongoing process of assessment and accreditation of Vidyasagar University by the NAC, Sir has managed to spend for us some portion of his valuable time. On behalf of Belda College, I extend a warm welcome to Professor Tapon Kumar De and convey our sincere thanks and heartfelt gratitude for his benevolent gesture. On behalf of the IQAC, I would like to convey my sincere appreciation to our principal sir for generously patronizing this webinar and providing us with encouragement in all sorts of quality related efforts taken by us. I welcome you, sir, to this webinar. I also take this opportunity to extend cordial and hearty welcome to other members of the organizing committee, such as the convener of the webinar, Dr. Sritoma Misra, Assistant Professor, Department of Philosophy, Dr. Lipika Mondal, Organizing Secretary and HOD, Department of Geography, Dr. Soheli Choudhury, Joint Secretary and HOD, Department of Sociology, Professor Souvik Chatterjee, our Secretary of our Teachers Council. I also convey warm welcome and extend sincere thanks to all other members of the IQAC, Internal Complaints Committee, Grievance Redressal Cell, and Disciplinary Committee, all full-time faculty members and SCCT teachers who have joined from different parts of our country, from different parts of our state in this webinar for gracing this occasion through enthusiastic participation. I firmly believe that we are going to have a very enriching and illuminating session soon, and also hopeful that this webinar will prove extremely fruitful in offering our faculty members adequate exposure to the issues of integration of values and maintenance of ethics in our professional lives, and help them resolve moral or ethical issues arising in teaching profession. Once again, I want to heartily welcome you all to this webinar and wish you successful deliberations. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Ponda, for the warm welcome address. Now we move on to our technical session. I now invite Dr. Sritama Mishra, Assistant Professor, Department of Philosophy, Belda College, to introduce our honorable speaker to the august audience.
A very good evening to all. It is my warm pleasure to introduce Professor Tapan Kumar De for this talk. Professor Tapan Kumar De is currently the Dean, Faculty Council for Postgraduate Studies in Arts and Commerce, and he is the Professor in the Department of Philosophy, Vidyasagar University. Professor De has a teaching experience of more than 15 years, and his areas of specialization are advanced logic, Indian logic, practical ethics, phenomenology, existentialism, etc. Professor De has in his credit many publications in reputed national and international journals. Many research scholars were awarded doctoral degrees under his supervision. He has been resource persons in many conferences, workshops, and also he is associated with a lot of professional bodies. Professor De has received State NSS Award from the West Bengal State Government in 2014 and Lifetime Achievement Award from the NICER in 2016. He is an excellent academician and orator, and we are very much honored and glad to have you among us. May I now request Professor Tapan Kumar De to begin his talk on universal human values and professional ethics for teaching personalities. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, madam, for your nice introduction. At first, I want to convey my gratitude to the principal of Belda College, Dr. Manavendranath Mandal, the nice person, Dr. Asif Ponda. Thank you, Professor Ponda, for your nice welcome address.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And Professor Mishra, Sritama Mishra, for inviting me to share something about an emerging and demanding field of practical philosophy, rather I can say practical ethics, that is professional ethics. Because, yes, at last but not the least, the other teachers, participants, I also want to convey my gratitude to all of you. Okay, let us concentrate on the subject I have given by the organizers, that universal human values and professional ethics for teaching personalities. So, I want to present my deliberation, dividing it in two parts. In the first part, I would like to give a sense of universal human values. And in the second part, I will give or I will share my knowledge regarding professional ethics for teaching personalities. And we will see that these two things are not different from each other. Rather, there is an inner relation, interrelation between them. Let us see what is universal human values. Take the word value at first. The word value has its various implications, such as value means a criteria for a thing. You go to the market to buy a thing, in the exchange of some money, that is its value. And mind it, this value or this standard is set up by our consciousness. That is, we have decided, our consciousness has decided that gold is more valuable than iron. This concept of value is a different thing with which I am not going to deal with at present. The other part or other implication of the concept of value that may be called intrinsic value or maybe ethical value, moral value. This is different, and we are much concerned with this aspect of the concept value. So, value means some qualities, some inner qualities that help a human being to be a human being. You know, an animal is animal by birth. A dog is a dog by birth. But a human being is not human being only by birth. There is a long process to be a human being. And this process is completed with the help of these concept of values that is inherent or that are already exist in our inner part. So these values help us to be human being, to be a human being, and to make a difference between animal and man. Without such qualities, no human being can be designated as a human being. কথাটা যেটা I am just speaking two lines in Bengali. মানুষ পশু জন্মালেই পশু, মানুষ কিন্তু জন্মালেই মানুষ নয়, তাকে মানুষ হতে হয়. So with the concept of values, human being is different from the rest of the animals living on earth. What are these values? There are so many explanations, ethical theories to explain such values, both in Indian and Western philosophy. But as an Indian, I am very much proud. I feel proud as we have a, a rich treasure of values. Think over the concept of purusarthas: dharma, artha, kama, moksha. What are these? These are the pillars, four pillars, to guide the life of a human being. Take the first concept, dharma. And the word dharma is very much interrelated with the concept of values. Mind it, here the word dharma does not indicate its equality with the word religion. I want to say that what is dharma is not equal to religion. Religion is a different thing. Dharma is a different thing. If anyone can go through the text of Tagore, Manusher Dharma, he or she will get the real picture of the word dharma, the real implication of the word dharma. Dharma does not indicate the rituals that we follow as religion. It indicates some traits, some inner qualities. That is dharma. You know, dharma is not a creed or a religion, but a mode of life or a code of conduct which regulates man's work and activities as a member of society and as an individual, and was intended to bring about the gradual development of a man and to enable him to reach what was deemed to be the goal of human existence. That is dharma. Dharma is a way of life that helps us to reach at the goal of human existence. What is the goal of human existence? That is also there in Purusarthas. Moksha, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Moksha is the goal of human being. Now, come to the point. What is moksha? I don't want to take the word in its literal meaning. I just want to refer that moksha is the satisfaction or job satisfaction. Satisfaction that we get after offering our service to the society. Satisfaction that we get after conveying our regards to the society at large, after performing our duties to the society at large. That is moksha. I just want to convey this type of connotation of the word moksha at present for the purpose of my lecture. And you know, a human being leads his life in a different, with a different aspects. That is personal. He has personal life, family life, social life, and professional life. A man has to play different roles in different times when he is maintaining his life as a personal life or as a family life or as a social life or as a professional life. In personal life, we have to maintain some ethical codes, or we have to follow some moral principles to prepare ourselves as a responsible citizen of the country, as a responsible member of my family, as a responsible member, dutiful member of the society, and as a perfect person in my professional life. So from the very beginning, a person has to inculcate the values that he learns through his class teaching, that he gets from the behavior of the elders of his or her family, or in society, or in school, etc. and etc. In this way, we get the concept of values, and we used to practice it in our family life, social life, and professional life also. So the word dharma has a great importance in our life, and we are inculcating such dharmas as universal human values. All of the members of the philosophy family know that there are several kinds of dharmas in Indian ethics. Sadharan dharmas, Visishta dharma, according to Manu Samhita. And we have to practice such as Dharya, Kama, Dam, Chorja Bhava, Dhi, Shaucho, Vidya, Satya, Akrodha, etc. and etc. Dharmas, that is values in our life, so that we can prepare ourselves as a responsible member of the society. The five core human values are right conduct, peace, truth, love, and non-violence. I begin reciting: right conduct, peace, truth, love, and non-violence. Values related to right conduct, that means you can relate something or some behavior with the concept of right conduct, that is self-help skill, social skills, ethical skills. What is self-help skills? That is care of professions, hygiene, modesty, posture, self-reliance, tidy appearance. These are related with the concept of right conduct. A person should have to appear to the society with some skill so that he can adopt himself with the society according to the concept of the right Am I audible? Am I audible now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible.
Okay, okay, okay. Sorry for the interruption. There was a call.
Okay, okay, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. You continue, please.
Good behavior, that is social skill, good behavior, good manners, good relationships, helpfulness, concern about the wastage, concern about the good environment, and that may be natural environment, academic ambience, everything is included in the concept of good environment. When I shall come with professional ethics in teaching personalities, but for teaching personalities, then this environment will be taken as the academic environment that is created with the not only with the infrastructure of the college or the universities, that is higher education institutions, rather this ambience or the environment is created with elan vital, that is prano prabaho, that is called in Bengali prano prabaho, the prano of teachers and students, the relation between among teacher and students, that is prano prabaho of an institution. I shall come with this concept. And again, related to the values, ethical skills, code of conduct, courage, dependability, duty, efficiency, that all are important in this connection. Values related to peace are attention, calmness, concentration, containment, dignity, discipline, equality, equanimity, faithfulness, focus, gratitude, happiness, harmony, humility, inner silence, optimism, patience, reflection, satisfaction, self-acceptance, self-confidence, self-control, self-discipline, self-esteem, self-respect, sense of control, tolerance, and understanding. These are related with the concept of peace. Values related to truth, accuracy, curiosity, discernment, fairness, fearlessness, honesty, integrity, etc. Values related to love, acceptance, affection, care, compassion, consideration, dedication, devotion, empathy, forbearance, forgiveness, friendship, gentleness, humanness, interdependence, kindness, patience, patriotism, reverence, sacrifice, selflessness, service, sharing, sympathy, thoughtfulness, etc. And values related to non-violence, that is benevolence, compassion, concern for others, consideration, forgiveness, manners, happiness, loyalty, morality, and universal love. That is the values related to non-violence. And the social approach is also there, appreciation of other cultures and religions, brotherhood, care of environment, citizenship, equality, harmlessness, national awareness, perseverance, respect for property, and social justice. These are the values, universal human values that are inculcated by each and every person for the betterment of his own life as well as for the betterment of the others and the society at large. So universal values are important. Universal values are important in that sense that without these values, no ethical frameworks can be framed. We have to accept the universal human values, the concept of universal human values. Otherwise, ethical concepts cannot be framed. You may call it as virtue, dharma. What is virtue? Virtues are tendencies which include solving problems thought through peaceful and constructive discussion and follow the path of the golden mean between the extremes of excesses and deficiency. They are like habits. Once acquired, they become characteristics of a person. Moreover, a person who has developed virtues will naturally act in ways consistent with moral principles. The virtuous person is the ethical person. So, you may say that a person who is following dharma is an ethical person, and the vice versa. A person who is following ethical codes and conducts, moral principles, in his personal life, family life, social life, and also professional life, is a person who follows strictly the concept of dharma from Indian context. Just the virtuous person is the ethical person. A person who follows the code and conducts of dharma is a virtuous person, and a virtuous person is nothing but an ethical person. So we have to inculcate all these values that we are inherited from the ancient era as the treasure of our Indian culture, thoughts, etc. So it is clear that a value is defined as a principle that promotes well-being or prevents harm. These values, universal human values, promotes well-being for the society and at the same time prevents us to do harm to others. Values are our guidelines for our success, our paradigm about what is acceptable. I think universal human values is important not only to our personal life, for our personal life, but also from birth to death. Now, I want to throw light to the next part of my lecture, that is an important part, and as an emerging area, it demands more concentration, more discussion. That is professional ethics for teaching personalities. Before entering into the second part, I want to clear the ideas about profession, professional, professionalism, and professional ethics. Let us a profession. We all know about, because the teachers think that they hold a noble profession, not only a profession, a noble profession. It is said, and we are acquainted with these adjective noble. Noble profession. That means the other professions, our teaching profession is greater in respect of value. That means universal values, not in respect of money, that means value. Teachers are not getting more money than the other fields. But the teaching profession is higher in respect of values than the other profession. It is said, and we accept it gladly. Then what is a profession? Yes, it is a job, a trained job that we get in exchange of our experience, degree, etc. A profession is a job at which a person is engaged after getting a training throughout his learner's life. It is what they do to get money or a living for livelihood. Yes, profession, in a profession, we engage in a profession to earn our livelihood. People often study for years to do their job. Works in a profession is called professional. So what is a profession? পেশা কি, বৃত্তি কি? দেখুন, সমাজের দিকে যদি আমরা তাকাই, if you look to society, you will get there are so many persons who are engaged in different professions: doctor, engineer, businessman, and other field of service. That is, each and every person in our society is engaged in a profession to earn his livelihood. Without livelihood, we can't exist on earth. A profession is a disciplined group of individuals who adhere to ethical standards and who hold themselves out as and are accepted by the public as possessing special knowledge and skill in a widely recognized body of learned education and training at a that is called profession. In profession, to be a professional, a person must have to follow these characteristics: great responsibility, accountability, theoretical knowledge, specialized knowledge, institutional preparation, autonomy, ethical constraints, direct working relationships with the beneficiaries, etc. and etc. So some characteristics are there. To engage in a profession, we have to follow the characteristics designed by that profession. The teaching profession demands a different kind of designed characteristics in the field of professional ethics rather than engineer, doctor, etc. And professionals also must have some qualities. What are they? A professional have to appear to the society as a professional. As a teacher, we have to behave in the society as a teacher. Profession, that is the professional attitude. Reliability, ethical behavior, skill of organization, skill of accountability, professional language. Yes, this is very much important. Professional language separates personal and professional. Yes, you have to separate your personal life from your professional life. And positive attitude. These are the qualities of a professional person. Then take the word, what is professionalism? Professional, when I am going to discuss the concept of professionalism, then an universal philosophical attitude is there. Professionalism is the conduct, aims, or qualities that characterize or mark a profession or a professional person. That is professionalism that marks a person that he is in such and such profession. He is a teacher, he is a doctor, he is an engineer. So it can be said that professionalism is the skill, good judgment, polite behavior, which we expect from a person who is holding an important job. That is professionalism. Professional knowledge must be there in professionalism. Proper manner must be there. Competency, reliability, honesty, integrity, positive attitude, and maintaining good posture. So all these things are important to be a professional. Without these qualities, no person can be treated as professional person. A person who loves his profession very much must have to inculcate all these qualities in his mind always. Now, what is professional ethics? This is an important thing. What is professional ethics? Professional ethics is a set of principles that govern the behavior of a person or a group in a special field. Professional ethics is nothing but a set of principles, ethical principles, moral principles. These moral principles will govern the behavior of the persons who are engaged in professions. That is professional ethics. Professional ethics provides on how a person should act towards other people and institutions in such an environment. That is professional ethics that teaches us how to behave with others when I am engaging in a special service. We have to practice integrity, objectivity, professional competence, confidentiality, and professional behavior to be a successful professional. These are the primary concepts: profession, professional, professionalism, and at last professional ethics. With these preliminary verses, with this preliminary discussion, I want to enter into the debate that is professional ethics for teaching personalities. Why I am going to focus the subject as a debate, you will realize within a few seconds. In Indian context, if we take the concept of education, then we will find that the education process is gradually changing. It is dynamic, not static. If you step into the ancient world, you will find there was a system to impart education to the students, pupils, Gurukula system. And you know that Sishas had to stay in Guru's house to take education that helped them throughout their personal life, social life, and as well as the other parts of their lives. And in those days, education was imparted to the Sishas by the Gurus without any monetary exchange. And then this system has expired and institutional system appears. Here, the students come to an institution and teachers are there to impart knowledge to them. And teachers are engaged not only as a teacher, but as a service provider. In the ancient era, teaching profession was noble if it can be treated as a profession at that time. But it was a noble profession. But Marxian culture destroyed all the shades of honor that are attached, that were attached with this profession. The Marxian concept is very simple. You are paid for your service, so you must be accountable, and there is no chance for anything extra rather than the payment. That means honor. If you go through the Marxian ethics, you will find it. So the point of discussion here, the teaching profession. I'm calling it teaching profession, but there is a little bit debate whether teaching can be treated as a profession or not. Professor Radhakrishnan Commission reported in 1948 on Indian higher education system that university teaching must fulfill three objectives for teaching to be considered as a profession. So, clearly, it is reported by the Radhakrishnan Commission in 1948 that teaching must be treated as a profession, and three objectives must be fulfilled. If three objectives are fulfilled, then it can be treated as profession. The first, to transmit the intellectual and ethical heritage of humanity to the young. Second, to enrich this heritage and extend the boundaries of knowledge. And third, to develop one's personality, to develop one's personality. If these three objects or objectives are fulfilled, then teaching can be treated as a profession. And you know, all these objectives are there in higher education teaching. Yet, let us take a glance to the debate. Some persons or some researchers, thinkers, take teaching as a profession. Some of them take it as a semi-profession. That is the debate. The central theme of the debate is whether teaching is a profession or not. We have to resolve it at first. And after that, if it is decided, if we take teaching as a profession, as a service, like other services, that is engineer, doctor, etc., where accountability is there, then the concern of professional ethics will come to this profession. So at first we have to establish the fact that teaching is a profession. Why this debate appears? We all know that still today in our society, teachers are treated in a different way. There is a Teachers' Day. In that day, students show their respect and other gestures to the teachers. Not only that, Teachers' Day, there is a deep bonding with teacher and students, learners and teachers. Teaching and learning is a process, so teacher and students has a deep relation, bonding, deep bonding that we can find in any profession, not in doctor patients, not in engineer and the beneficiaries, etc. and etc. So till date, teaching is taken as a different thing than the other. One of the thinkers, modern thinkers, Davis, told that university teaching is a profession because teaching refers to imparting knowledge, skill, or judgment with a beneficent intention. Take this thought. Why teaching is a profession? Now, teaching is a profession because teaching is imparting knowledge, skill, or judgment with a beneficent intention. We are not only imparting knowledge to the students, we are imparting skill. We help the students to make understand the world, to make judgment. So it can be treated as a profession. That is defines a profession is a number of individuals in the same occupation voluntarily organized to earn a living by openly serving a certain moral ideal in a morality permissible way beyond what law, market, and morality would otherwise require. So, according to Davis, teaching is a profession. The other thinker, Gluchomanova, in 2015 said that university teaching is a profession because teachers clarify students' doubts, set the criteria for assessment and evaluation, and communicate the same to students at the beginning of each semester, deliver lectures on time, and ensure cognitive, intellectual, and moral progress of students. Teachers overall discharge their duties to students professionally and thereby satisfy societal expectations. So the debate is going to be decided with the majority that teaching is a profession. We have to deal with the students like a professional. For this reason, we have to inculcate all these things, all the characteristics, qualities that I have already discussed to be a successful professional. So teaching is a profession. In higher education sector, teachers must have the expertise on the areas of their subject or teaching to impart to the student successfully. The word expertise indicates that the teaching profession must be granted as profession like other fields. Their actions lead to the benefit of the students and thereby society. They have an ability to apply the teacher's code of ethics to their tasks. So, teaching in higher education is a profession. Teachers are imparting knowledge, skill. At present, you know, skill development program is important. And higher education institutions are gradually getting interested to introduce skill development program in their institutions for the betterment of the education, for the betterment of the learners. And the concept earn when you learn is already there in higher education. So skill development program need expertise of the expert teachers. So we cannot say that the teaching is a semi-professional job. We know that there is a different sense for the teachers in our society. We cannot treat the teachers as the other service providers. Yet, it is the true fact that at present day, in the present era, we have to accept that teaching is a profession, not a noble profession. It is only a profession. You can add the adjective noble before teaching. Teaching is a noble profession before the word profession. But it is only for your mental satisfaction. When you are accountable to the larger society, when your performance is in a accountable table, you cannot demand that your profession is a noble one. It's just like a profession, other professions. It's a profession like other professions. Don't take it as an advantageous situation as a teacher in the society. Yet though our society till date show respect to the teachers, whether teacher is in service or a retired teacher, whether the teacher is in his institution or in a market, he receives a respect from the others. Yet, teaching is a profession. This is the fact. And if you treated it as a profession, so teachers are professionals. And to be a successful professional, teachers must have to fulfill all the qualities. The respectability status of the occupation. It is our duty as a teacher, as we receive a respect throughout the life, in service and after the service life, from the society at large. So it is our duty to be a moral person. The respectability status of the occupation, improvement of service quality, achievement of the highest standards, self-control, self-regulation, professional autonomy, and also to impart knowledge regarding the environment. Now, it is true fact, it is a true fact or open fact that teaching is a profession. Society expects from the faculties of the higher education institution to provide a quality education to students. It is our duty as a teacher to provide not only education, but also a quality education. What is the meaning of the word quality education? We all know about it, and we are trying to impart quality education to the knowledge. Quality education refers not only the highest level of information in the subject, with the highest level of information, morality, truthfulness, and other qualities must be there. Teaching does not indicate to impart only data or information. Teaching indicates to impart knowledge and at the same time to transform the knowledge to wisdom, and at the same time to transform the knowledge to wisdom. If you go through the writing of Bertrand Russell, Knowledge and Wisdom, you will get a clear picture about the importance of the transformation of knowledge. We transform the data to knowledge and the knowledge to wisdom. That is the indication of a quality education. That is the purpose of a quality education. Faculty members are expected to render their service professionally and aligned to the set standards for others to emulate. It is said that a child is born in a family bearing a name, caste, and religion, but his or her ideology and understanding about worldly affairs are constructed or modified by the teachers. A student who is at present in a higher education institution, he comes with his name given by his family members, with his caste, inherited from his ancient uh, family members and a religion. If it is, yes, we know that religion is not important at present, yet generally we think, but the mental structure is modified by the teachers. The student begins to think with the light of the thinking of his teacher or her teacher. He begins to think in the way which he gets from his teacher. That is the importance of a teaching, of the teaching profession. In this way, we, the teachers, are giving a new life to a young person, to a young man. So it is a profession, and it is our duty to follow the professional, the norms of the professional ethics at the time of imparting knowledge in the institution to the young person. It has already been said that we, the teachers of higher education institutions, are there to fulfill the important objective of the profession, that is, to offer quality education to our students. And if we want to attain this objective, accreditation bodies formulate norms and guidelines from time to time. We have to be accountable with this guideline and accreditation. You are no, you are well, you know that 15, 16, and 17, the on-site visit is there by the IQAC team in our university campus. Why this visit is important? This visit is important not only for a recognition. It is important to show our accountability to the world. It is important to show the world that we are offering quality education to the students. It is important to judge ourselves whether we are on a right path or not. So, accreditation, assessment is there. In case of professional ethics, we have to follow the guidelines as designed by UGC. Apart from that, we have to motivate ourselves to follow the concept of universal human values to be a good professional. That means to be a good professional, you must be a good human being. Without a good human being, no one can be treated as a good professional. As a teaching professional, we have responsibilities and duties to be performed by us to the students, to the colleague, to the institution, and to the society at large. It is divided into 4 parts. We have to show our responsibility, respect to the students at first, to the colleagues, to the institution, and to the society at large. We have to be accountable to these 4 categories: students, colleagues, institution, and society. Responsibility towards students. Take it first. What responsibilities are there? Is there any responsibilities? Yes, there is responsibilities. What are they? It is our responsibility to impart quality education to the students. That is also objective. But we have to disseminate knowledge in a respectful way so that each and every student can get the sense of this knowledge imparted to them. We all know that different categories, the students of different categories are there in our classroom. Slow learners, advanced learners, and there is also a medium category students, those who have the quality to be an advanced learner, but because of the less attention, they are gradually getting into the arena of the slow learners. So it is our duty to identify all of them categorically and to help them so that they can get advancement in their life, learning life. So it is our duty to the students. And there must be a good relationship, academic relationship between teachers and students. And this relationship, the building of this relationship, not only depends on the students, it also depends on a teacher who is imparting knowledge, who is teaching in a classroom, especially in higher education institution. This relationship is the factor. If you can establish a good relationship, academic relationship, that means with your students in the classroom, you will enjoy your job and you will be a successful professional in the field of education. Faculty members, that is teachers, must share their knowledge with the students and put their best efforts for the growth and progress of the students. And to do that, you have to categorize them. Responsibilities towards the profession. As a teacher, I have already mentioned that you have to maintain a gentle life, personal life. You may argue that my personal life is different from my professional life. Yes, it is true, but it is partly true to the teaching profession. It is true to the other professions, officers and other engineers, doctors, etc., etc. They can maintain separately or very consciously the personal life and professional life. But as a teacher, suppose you are in a market, there you see that a student of you is coming towards you to show respect by offering pranam. But if your student sees that you are not in a condition to be called as a teacher in that place, certainly you will not get the respect from your student, and you will not be a successful professional as a teacher. So, it is our duty to be responsible towards profession. Teachers are always teachers. There is no retired life of a teacher. And you know that teaching is a profession separate from the others because teachers teaches the other professionals. Teachers teach the other professionals. That is why it is our duty to be responsible towards our profession. Responsibilities towards colleagues. When you are engaged in teaching profession in a higher education institution, you will come across a galaxy of people, learned people, as colleagues, coming from different parts of the country, perhaps coming from the different parts of the world. So as a teacher, you have to be responsible towards your colleague, to exchange your ideas with others in a respectable way. Responsibility towards authorities. That is also a duty of a teacher to show loyalty to the authority. Because you know, the higher education institutions are guided by the laws, rules, regulations designed by the higher authorities. If you are not ready to show your respect to the authorities, you will not be a successful professional in teaching field. Responsibility towards the society. The large society expects much more from the teachers than the other service providers. So as a teacher, it is our duty to show our responsibilities to the society. I think as a teacher, we all are on the same platform to be accountable, accreditable as a professional, and to show respect to all the categories I have mentioned, along with to show respect to ourselves. If you have no respect, if you have no responsibility to your own self, you will not be able to show your respect to the society. We all know that what to do and what not to do. Yet, we are in a position to engage ourselves in a different way. In Sanskrit, it is said, Janani dharma na cha me pravritti, Janani adharmam na cha me nivritti. I know what is dharma, but I have no interest to follow the path of dharma. I know what is adharma, but I have no interest to prohibit from the following this path, to prohibit myself from following this path. This is the picture in the ethical field. So, at present, it is our duty to do our research in a right way without entering into the trap of plagiarism. You all know that at present plagiarism has a important role it is playing in the field of research. This is also a responsibility to be a truthful researcher, to be an honest researcher. So I think I have completed my presentation from my perspective with a little depth. It is a vast subject and needs to be addressed from a different corner with different experts. Thank you. Thank you all for having patience to hear me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. It was really excellent hearing from you. You have beautifully explained the concepts of values and morality and professional ethics in an explicit and detailed manner. We really thank you for your talk. And it is, I too agree with you that being in teaching, the last words that you said, being in teaching, if I take pride at any level, maybe I may be a school teacher or I may be a college teacher or a university teacher, but if I take pride in being a teacher, then definitely I am going to impose some of these self-imposed disciplines, values, codes, and conduct on myself to guide my behavior as well as to monitor my behavior towards my colleagues, towards my students, towards the guardians, towards the non-teaching, towards the authority administration, and to the society at large. And what I feel is that not only I am to monitor my behavior, but rather to observe that my behavior should significantly influence or rather positively impact my learners, my colleagues, my staffs, and everyone. So it was really a very thought-provoking lecture. So I am sure that many of our participants must be having questions. In the chat box, I could see Professor Shobhik Chatterjee who posted a question. Professor Shobhik Chatterjee, if you are here online, then you can directly ask to Professor Tapan Kumar De.
Oh, good evening, sir. Thank you for excellent. Am I audible to you?
Yes, please continue.
Thank you for excellent presentation. I just have a small query. So you are talking about the actually the term, the concept of the term profession and all in applicable to higher education sectors, as pointed out by the Radhakrishnan Committee 1948. So I'm just keen to know what about the school teaching? Don't you think the teachers who are teaching in schools at primary level or secondary level or higher secondary levels, don't they can't we apply the term profession to their teaching? I'm just keen to know about this. Why there is such a distinction between the school teaching and the higher education teaching? Because all of us
Uh,
engaged in teaching, no?
yes, yes.
Am I
So
clear to you?
thank you, so Chatterjee. Uh, you are right, and I am also was interested to to speak on all these things. But as I am in higher education institution, and I was told by the organizer that they are interested to highlight this matter, I expressed all these things. But you know, Professor Chatterjee, that when you are engaged in a teaching, the level does not matter. Whether it is primary section, whether it is upper primary or madhyamik or higher education, higher secondary. Teaching is a teaching. You are teaching a kid that needs more care, more attention, loving attitude, loving appearance, because imparting knowledge to them is insignificant at the stage of primary level. But to prepare them mentally for the higher institutions which they are going to be admitted in, which is an important factor. So ethics is necessary, morality is necessary for every stage. But in higher education, where we are imparting not only knowledge but skills, it is important to be more thoughtful, to be more responsible, because your student is just on the gate of the society at large to serve the society. So your judgment power, your understanding is important for your student, because he is going to serve the society at large. All the stage needs to be addressed by the morality and ethics, it is true. But in higher education sectors, it is little bit more important, because the students are just next to be a responsible citizen of the country. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Shobhik Chatterjee. If any of our participants have any query or comments, or if they want to reflect upon any of the issues, you can please directly do so. Somebody is trying to speak something, I guess. Lipika, madam, I think we could not
Yes,
hear you. Yes, yes.
yes.
If you want to reflect anything, I request our participants, if you want to ask the question in Bengali, you can do so.
Yes, 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 always. All the participants are interested. If you have any interest,
Yeah, you
then
can
you can
ask your
ask
questions in
questions.
English
Language is
or
not
in
it
Bengali.
not bad.
Exactly.
You can ask your you can put your question in English or in Bengali or in Hindi also, but not in
Definitely.
Yes, sir.
not in other language, please.
Um, কেউ যদি প্রশ্ন করতে চান বাংলায়
আরে প্রশ্ন না
সেটা করতে
করলে কি করে আলোচনাটা সার্থকতা কোথায়? প্রশ্নে তো আলোচনার সার্থকতা আছে
একটা
প্রশ্নে।
স্যার স্যার একটা খুব সুন্দর সেশন শুনলাম। আমার আমার এক মানে প্রশ্ন নয়, আমি একটু স্যার আপনার কাছে এটা বলছিলাম শ্রীতমাকে। শ্রীতমা যদি একটু ওই ভিউটা একটু শুনতে পাই আমরা, তুমি একটু যদি বলো স্যারকে।
Okay, sure, sure, sure. Uh, no, actually, what we got a response from one of our teachers, like, what should be the model code of conduct, or can there be any model code of conduct in teaching profession which we can apply towards one's colleagues? I mean, according what can be a model code of conduct in teaching profession towards one's colleagues? We got this question from one of our faculty members, and sir, that is why we are raising it up to you.
Please repeat again, please.
What can there be any model code of conduct
Yes, yes. Okay.
towards one's
Can
colleagues in teaching profession?
yes, yes, yes. Is there any model conduct in teaching profession?
Yes.
You know that the model conduct, the word model conduct is vague. The model conduct may be framed for a particular profession. Maybe it is for the teaching profession or in other professions. But it must be dynamic, not be static. Because the changing time, present scenario demands that model conduct must be dynamic. Maybe a model conduct, it is already there. When you are signing the form for the post, if you follow that there is some conduct, code of conduct, and it is clearly declared by you that if you breach any kind of any of these, you will be liable to responsible for your behavior. It is already there. And we follow not only the model code of conduct, but the code of conduct that comes from our inner world. As a teacher, we are in a creativity. Creativity is our main characteristics, not only teaching and not only development skill, it is not only our duty, innovation, creation. The teacher of higher education institution must have the power of innovation and creation. So innovation and creation does not indicate that they are coming under the model moral conducts. Model moral conducts must be there, but it must be extended or changed from time to time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
আমি একটা প্রশ্ন করব স্যারকে।
নিশ্চয়ই নিশ্চয়ই। নিশ্চয়ই
স্যার
ম্যাডাম।
আমি ডক্টর মধুচন্দ্রা দুয়ারি বলছি স্যার
ডিপার্টমেন্টটা
আগে
একটু বলে ম্যাডাম।
হ্যাঁ ডিপার্টমেন্ট অফ জুলজি। তো
Thank
স্যার
you.
আমরা তো সব সময় সব টিচারই চাই স্টুডেন্টের ভালো হোক, কিন্তু তারপরেও স্টুডেন্টরা ভুল করে অনেক সময়। তো এখন তো স্যার স্কুল থেকেই শাসন ব্যাপারটা উঠে গেছে, তাহলে কলেজের ক্ষেত্রে আমি বলছি যে যদি স্টুডেন্টরা ভুল করে সেক্ষেত্রে আমরা কিভাবে ওদের শুধরাতে পারি, মানে কিভাবে, মানে তাদেরকে তো শাসন করাই যায় না, মানে কিভাবে মানে কি ওয়েতে স্যার ওদেরকে মানে আমরা করতে পারি যে যাতে ওরা ভুলগুলো না করে। এটা যদি স্যার একটু বলেন।
একদম একদম ঠিক জায়গায় আপনি বলেছেন। এটা আমরা মনে করছি বোধহয় যে বেত উঠে গিয়ে ক্ষেতের ফসলে ধরেছে পচন। আমরা একটা সিস্টেমে অভ্যস্ত ছিলাম যে বেত হাতে মাস্টারমশাইরা থাকবেন, এটাই হচ্ছে পিকচার, একটা চিত্র, ছাত্ররা ভয়ে তটস্থ থাকবে। তো সাইকোলজিক্যাল দিক থেকে সেটা কিন্তু খুব একটা সন্তোষজনক নয়। হয়তো এটা হতে পারে যে মাস্টারমশাইরা অনেক সময় যে করতে পারছেন, ছেলে মেয়েদের কন্ট্রোল করতে পারছেন। লাঠি দিয়ে কখনো শিক্ষা হয় না। আপনি কন্ট্রোল করতে পারেন তাদের বিহেভিয়ারাল যে অ্যাটিটিউডটা কন্ট্রোল করতে পারেন। তারা হয়তো যে হাত পা ছুড়ছিল, চিৎকার করছিল, সেখান থেকে চুপচাপ থাকবে, কিন্তু তাদের মনোজগতে আপনি প্রবেশ করতে পারবেন না লাঠি হাতে। তাহলে the role of a teacher is to train the mind, not the physical behavior only. তাহলে মনকে যদি ট্রেন করতে হয়, তাদের যদি আমরা মানসিকভাবে বড় করে তুলতে চাই, তাহলে লাঠি হাতে সেখানে কারো প্রবেশাধিকার নেই। আপনি লাঠি হাতে জোর করে ধমকে তাকে চুপ করে এক জায়গায় বস করে রাখতে পারেন, কিন্তু তার মন তখন কোথায় থাকবে আর তার হদিস আপনি পাবেন না। তাহলে টিচারকে ছাত্রের মনের হদিস পেতে হবে, তবেই তো আপনার টিচিংটা সাকসেসফুল হবে। তো মনের হদিস পাওয়ার জন্য লাঠির কোনো দরকার নেই, বেতের কোনো দরকার নেই, শাসনের কোনো দরকার নেই, একেবারে দরকার নেই তেমন কথা আমি বলছি না। কিন্তু দেখবেন এমন ভাবে যদি তাদের আমরা ট্রেন করতে পারি যে এডুকেশনটার দিকে তারা মন দেবে। কিছু ছাত্র দুষ্টু থাকবে, সেটা চিরকালই থাকে, লাঠি হাতে থাকলেও থেকেছে, না থাকলেও থাকবে। তাহলে দেখা যাবে যে ওদের মানসিকভাবে এই লার্নিং বিষয়টার প্রতি একটা ইনভলভমেন্টের জায়গা তৈরি হবে, যেটা ভবিষ্যতের ক্ষেত্রে খুব ভালো। সুতরাং অ্যাজ এ টিচার আমরা চাই ছাত্রছাত্রীদের মনের হদিস, সেখানে লাঠি হাতে প্রবেশ করা যায় না। ধন্যবাদ।
হ্যাঁ স্যার, আপনি একেবারেই ঠিক বলেছেন, কিন্তু আমি একটা জিনিস অ্যাড করতে চাই। এটা অফলাইন মোডে যতটা খুব ইজি, অনলাইন মোডে কিন্তু আমরা অনেক ধরনের ডিফিকাল্টিস ফেস করি। এই এই যে অনলাইন টিচিং এর ক্ষেত্রে এই ধরনের ওদেরকে শাসন না করে ওদেরকে বোঝানো, কারণ আমরা অ্যাক্সেসটা খুব কম পাচ্ছি। এবং আপনি জানেন যে বেলদা কলেজ একটা রুরাল কলেজ, সেখানে বেশিরভাগ সময় স্টুডেন্টদের এই যেহেতু ওরা খুব একটা টেক স্যাভি নয়, সেক্ষেত্রে বেশিরভাগ সময় আমরা ওদেরকে কন্ট্রোল তো করাটা খুবই মুশকিল হয়ে যাচ্ছে, খুবই সমস্যাকর হয়ে যাচ্ছে। তো সেটা একটা প্রবলেম আমরা অবশ্যই ফেস করছি। আচ্ছা,
কিন্তু আপনি অনলাইনে তো লাঠি হাতে তাদের তাড়া করতে পারবেন না।
না না, অবশ্যই পারবো না। এবং তার মনোযোগটাকে মানে কেন্দ্রিত করা, সেটা সামনাসামনি হলে ফেস টু ফেস লার্নিং এ যেটা খুব ইজিলি আমরা করতে পারতাম, বিভিন্ন রকম স্টোরি টেলিং, বিভিন্ন রকম মোডস অফ টিচিং দিয়ে করতে পারতাম। কিন্তু অনলাইন টিচিং এ হয়তো সে এমন একটা পরিবেশে আছে যেখানে সে কনসেন্ট্রেট করতেই পারছে না, সে হয়তো জাস্ট
এটাকে এখন বলছে জানেন তো, ব্লেন্ডেড মোডে কিন্তু আমাদের অভ্যস্ত হতে হবে, ব্লেন্ডেড মোড।
হ্যাঁ ঠিক ঠিক ঠিক।
একেবারে।
প্রফেসর চ্যাটার্জি, হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ,
আবার স্যার
বলবেন সৌভিক বাবু,
ফ্রেন্ডলি ওয়েতে যদি ওদের সাথে মেশা হয়, ওরা এমন কিছু ডিমান্ড করছে যেখানে অ্যাজ এ টিচার আমার পক্ষে স্যার সেটা দেওয়া সম্ভব নয়, মানে এটাও একটা সমস্যা।
তখন একটা প্রশ্ন ছিল, আমি আব্দুল্লাহ বলছি।
আরে ভাই বলো।
হ্যাঁ স্যার বলুন। আচ্ছা,
বলছি প্র্যাকটিক্যাল এথিকের সঙ্গে যেটা পিওর এথিক, তার একটা ডিফারেন্স সবসময় তৈরি হচ্ছে। এর মূল কারণটা কি?
কিরকম
সহজ করে বললে জিনিসটা এরকম দাঁড়ায়, আমরা যেটা বলি, যেটা বোঝাই, যেটা করতে বলি, নিজেরা কিন্তু করতে পারি না। পার্থক্যটা তৈরি হয় কেন? কোন জায়গা থেকে? গ্যাপটা কোথায়?
আমি আমি কিন্তু শুনতে পেলাম, একটা ফোন চলে এসেছিল, ভাইটি আরেকবার যদি বলেন ভালো হয়।
আমি আবার বলছি যে পিওর এথিক যেটা থিওরিটিক্যাল এথিকের সঙ্গে প্র্যাকটিক্যাল এথিকের যে ডিফারেন্স, গ্যাপটা ঠিক কোন জায়গা থেকে তৈরি হচ্ছে? সহজ করে বললে এটাই বলা হয় যে আমি যেটা বলার চেষ্টা করি, যে ধরনের জ্ঞান দিতে চেষ্টা করি, প্রকৃতপক্ষে কি আমি নিজে সেটা ফলো করতে পারি না কেন? গ্যাপটা তৈরি হয় কি জন্য?
আমি তো সেই কথাটা প্রথমে লাস্টে যেটা বললাম, যে কোনটা ধর্ম আমি জানি, কোনটা অধর্ম আমি জানি, কিন্তু তবু আমি ধর্মের পথে চলতে পারি না, আবার অধর্মের পথ থেকে নিজেকে সরাতেও পারি না।
সে কারণটা কোথায়? গ্যাপটা তৈরি হচ্ছে কি জায়গা থেকে, কোন জায়গা থেকে তৈরি হচ্ছে?
এইটা ভাই, গ্যাপটা তৈরি হচ্ছে সম্পূর্ণরূপে আমাদের মানসিকতা থেকে। আমাদের এক্সপেকটেশনটা হাই, কিন্তু সেন্স অফ ডিউটিটা লো। এই যে গ্যাপটা, এই গ্যাপটা থেকেই কিন্তু যাবতীয় সমস্যার সৃষ্টি হচ্ছে।
তাহলে আমরা এই ধরনের আলোচনা যদি আমরা প্রতিনিয়ত প্রতিদিনই করি, এতে করে কি আমরা আমাদের নিজেদের কোনো পরিবর্তন করতে পারি?
এটা তো ভাই একটা কঠিন প্রশ্ন। মানুষকে পরিবর্তন করানো, মানুষকে মানে আমি বলছি, ধরো টিচাররা যারা, আমরা ওই পাকা হাড়ি, যে হাড়িটা পুড়ে গেছে, তাকে তুমি আর কি ভাই পিঠে পাটা চেঞ্জ করতে পারবে? আমরা বড় জোর তাতে কি করতে পারি, একটা প্রলেপ লাগাতে পারি, তার বেশি আর কিছু করা যায় না। এইখানে মনে রাখতে হবে যে মানুষকে তার চেতনার দ্বারা পরিচালিত হতে হবে, এবং চেতনার সঙ্গে চেতনার মিল ঘটিয়ে নিজের পূর্ণতার জায়গাটা খুঁজে নিতে হবে। এইটা আমাদের ডিউটি, এটা আমাদের কর্তব্য। এইবার আমি কেন আমার ডিউটি থেকে বিচ্যুত হচ্ছি, এটা আমাকে নিজেকেই প্রশ্ন করতে হবে। আমি কেন এই নৈতিক কর্তব্যগুলো আমার জীবনে পালন করতে পারছি না, এটা নিজেকেই প্রশ্ন করতে হবে। এটা সোসাইটি আমাকে শিখিয়ে দিতে পারবে না। তাহলে আমাকে কি, সোসাইটি আমার কাছ থেকে শিখবে? আমি সোসাইটির কাছ থেকে যেটা পাচ্ছি সেটাকে যদি অ্যাপ্লাই না করি, তাহলে এটা আমার দায়, আমার রেসপন্সিবিলিটি। এটা কেউ শিখিয়ে দিতে পারবে না। যতই আলোচনা করি ভাই, এই আলোচনাটা একটা সুন্দর গল্প আছে, বলবো গল্পটা?
হ্যাঁ, হোক না, আলোচনা বেশ জমে উঠেছে তো। তারপর আমি মন দিয়ে শুনেছি, মাঝখানে ছিলাম না, প্রথম থেকে আছি আমি।
শাশুড়ি আর বৌমা, বুঝলে তো, মানে কথক ঠাকুরের পাঠ শুনতে গেছেন শাশুড়ি আর বৌমা। পাঠটা শুনে বাড়ি এসেছেন, তার পরের দিন ভিক্ষুক এসেছে দ্বারে, বৌমা থালায় সুন্দর চাল এবং আরো আলু টালু সাজিয়ে দিতে যাচ্ছে। শাশুড়ি মা বলছেন, কোথায় যাচ্ছ? বলছে, ওই যে মা, কালকে শুনে এলাম কথক ঠাকুরের কাছ থেকে যে ভিক্ষুক যদি দ্বারে আসে তাকে ভিক্ষা দিতে হয়। তো শাশুড়ি মা বলছেন, ওই পাঠের কথা মাঠেই রেখে আসবে, বাড়িতে আনবে না। বাড়িতে তুমি বাড়ির ভাবনা মতো চলবে। তো যতই পাঠ শুনি ভাই, সেটা যদি মাঠে রেখে আসি, তাহলে কিছু হবে না। ঠিক আছে?
এক্স্যাক্টলি তাই। না, ভালো, খুব লাইভলি ডিসকাশন হয়েছে, শুনলাম মন দিয়ে। অনেক অনেক ধন্যবাদ আমার তরফ থেকে।
আচ্ছা, ধন্যবাদ। সৌভিক বাবু কিছু
ভালো লেগেছে।
বলুন সৌভিক বাবু।
হ্যাঁ, বলছি আমার প্রশ্নটা একটু আউট অফ দ্য ট্র্যাক। আচ্ছা, প্রফেশনাল এথিক্স যখন তো ডিটেলসে বলেন খুব সুন্দরভাবে টিচিং সেক্টরের ক্ষেত্রে, আমি মেডিকেল সেক্টরে যদি যাই, তো সেখানে মানে ফিলোসফির একটা খুব ইন্টারেস্টিং সাবজেক্ট ম্যাটার অফ রিসার্চ হচ্ছে যে ইউথেনেশিয়াটাকে লিগ্যালাইজ করা উচিত কি উচিত। ডক্টরসদের যাদের কাজ হচ্ছে জীবন দেওয়া, কিন্তু একজন পেশেন্ট, মৃত্যুপথযাত্রী অন দ্য ডেথ বেড, if that patient is keen to face this death just to get a relief from the pain, suppose ক্যান্সার বা অন্য কোনো মানে যে ইনকিউরেবল ডিজিজ, সেটার ক্ষেত্রে তো ডক্টর মানে বিভিন্ন দেশে এটা নিয়ে ডিবেট চলছে, কিছু কিছু দেশ এটা লিগ্যালাইজ করেছে মোস্ট লাইকলি। তো আমাদের দেশে এখন অব্দি ডিবেটটা চলছে। এইটাতে আপনি কিভাবে ব্যাখ্যা করবেন? মানে প্রফেশনাল এথিক্স, টিচারদের কাজ পড়ানো, ডাক্তারদের কাজ পেশেন্টকে প্রাণ বাঁচানো, জীবন দেওয়া, তো সেখানে মানে কোনো পেশেন্ট যদি নিজেই মৃত্যু চায়, সেখানে মানে একটা ইনজেকশনের সাহায্যে ডক্টরের মানে কি ভূমিকা হওয়া, মানে তার মানসিকতাটা কি জায়গায় যাওয়া উচিত, যে মানে সে কি মানে মেরে দেবে পেশেন্টকে, মানে এইটাই আমি জাস্ট জানতে ইন্টারেস্টেড।
ওকে ওকে, থ্যাংক ইউ, থ্যাংক ইউ। ঠিক, থ্যাংক ইউ। দারুণ দারুণ একটা জায়গা আপনি পয়েন্ট আউট করেছেন। এটা আমার একটা অত্যন্ত আনন্দের জায়গা, এবং এটার বিষয়ে আমার একটা কাজও আছে, ইন্টারন্যাশনাল একটা জার্নালে এটা আমার পেপারও বেরিয়েছে, লিগালাইজ ইউথানাসিয়া। এবং আমি প্রথমেই বলে রাখি, আমি এটার পক্ষে, ইউথানাসিয়াকে লিগালাইজ করার আমি পক্ষে, বাট কোন কন্ডিশনে, কন্ডিশনালি কিন্তু। এখন বিষয়টা শুনুন, ইউথানাসিয়া কথাটার মানে হচ্ছে অ্যাসিস্টেড সুইসাইড। অনেকে বলছে অ্যাসিস্টেড সুইসাইড, অ্যাসিস্টেড বাই দি ডক্টর, সুইসাইডটা করছেন পেশেন্ট, দ্যাট ইজ কল্ড অ্যাসিস্টেড সুইসাইড। বাংলায় অনেকে এই বিষয়টাকে বলছেন শান্তি মৃত্যু, স্বস্তি মৃত্যু, ইচ্ছা মৃত্যু, কিন্তু এই বাংলাগুলোর প্রতি আমার খুব একটা আস্থা নেই। স্বস্তি মৃত্যু বললে বিষয়টা, মৃত্যুটা স্বস্তির কিনা, স্বস্তির একটা অনেকগুলো তার পার্সপেক্টিভস আছে। আমি মারা গেলাম, যন্ত্রণা থেকে মুক্ত হয়ে গেলাম, কিন্তু আমার স্বস্তি হবে কি, আমি তো চিন্তা করব আমার পরিবারের লোকজনদের জন্য। এটাকে ইচ্ছা মৃত্যু আমরা বলতে পারি না আগেকারের মুনি ঋষিদের মতো, যে আমি ওই সময় মারা যাব, ধ্যানে বসলাম মারা গেলাম, এই কথাটাও বলা যাবে না। তো এইটাকে আমরা বলতে পারি ডেথ উইথ ডিগনিটি, ডেথ উইথ ডিগনিটি, মর্যাদা মৃত্যু। কেন এই কথাটা বলবো না, তার কারণ দেখুন, আমার বাঁচার অধিকার আছে এবং ডাক্তারের কাজ হচ্ছে আমাকে বাঁচানো, কিন্তু যখন এইরকম কেস আছে তখন এটা একটা, মানে কি বলবো, উত্তর মেরু দক্ষিণ মেরুর গ্যাপ, এই দুটো গ্যাপকে প্রিজার্ভ করবো কিভাবে, দ্যাট ইজ দি কোশ্চেন। এখন একটা দৃষ্টান্ত আপনাকে বলি, আপনি নিশ্চয়ই জানেন দক্ষিণ ভারতের অরুণা সাংবাং একজন নার্স ছিলেন, অরুণা সাংবাংয়ের কেস, যিনি দীর্ঘ প্রায় 18 বছর কোমায় ছিলেন। তিনি একজন নার্স ছিলেন, তার উপরে একটা অপকর্ম করতে গেছিল একজন ওই হাসপাতালেরই কর্মী, তার সঙ্গে একটা তার ফিজিক্যাল হয়, মানে লড়াই হয়, তাতে তিনি অচৈতন্য হয়ে পড়েন এবং সেই যে কোমায় চলে যান, 18 বছর কোমায় তিনি কোমাচ্ছন্ন ছিলেন। যে লোকটি রং ডুয়ার, তার 3 বছরের বা 4 বছরের জেল হয়েছিল, তারপর থেকে সে বেরিয়ে গেল, সে সুন্দর ফ্রি আছে, সোসাইটিতে ঘুরছে, সে সাজা কেটে দিয়েছে, সে দোষী সাব্যস্ত করে। কিন্তু আসল সাজাটা খাটছে কে, এইটা হচ্ছে প্রশ্ন। যে ভিকটিম, সেই আসল সাজাটা খেটে গেল, 18 বছর ধরে সে কোমায় থেকে গেল। এখন এই যে কোমায় থাকা, ধরুন যার আর ফিরে আসার কোনো সম্ভাবনা নেই, যে কোনোভাবেই আর সচেতন হচ্ছে না, বা যার পক্ষে ফিরে আসাটা যাবেই না, দীর্ঘদিন ধরে সে কোমায় পড়ে আছে, সেই সব পেশেন্টের ক্ষেত্রে তাদের সম্মানের সঙ্গে মৃত্যু ঘটানোর একটা অধিকার, তাদের একটা, মানে কি বলবো, ডেথ উইথ ডিগনিটির একটা রাইট তাদের আছে। কারণ তারা কোনো অন্যায় করেননি, বরং তারা অন্যায়ের শিকার হয়েছেন। একটা জিনিস দেখবেন, যতই আমরা পলিয়েটিভ কেয়ারের কথা বলি, মানে নিকটজনের সেবা পরিষেবার কথা বলি, একটা মানুষ যদি 18 বছর ধরে পড়ে থাকেন, তার সেই সেবার জায়গাটা কিন্তু ঘাটতি হবেই, একটা অবহেলার জায়গা, একটা নেগলিজেন্সির জায়গা তৈরি হবেই। তারপরে তিনি যে আত্মমর্যাদা নিয়ে বাঁচতে পারতেন, অথচ তার নিজের কোনো দোষ না থাকা সত্ত্বেও সেই আত্মমর্যাদা নিয়ে তিনি বাঁচতে পারছেন না, আর তার পক্ষে কখনো ফিরে আসা সম্ভব নয় সেই লাইফে। 18 বছর পরেও যদি ধরুন 40 বছর বয়সে তিনি কোমায় গেলেন, 18 বছর পরে তার যদি চৈতন্য ফিরেও আসে, তিনি আর কখনো তার সেই জীবনটা ফিরে পাবেন না, সুস্থও হবেন না সেইভাবে, তাকে পরের উপর ডিপেন্ড করেই থাকতে হবে। তাহলে তার থেকে যদি এটাকে ডেথ উইথ ডিগনিটির জায়গায় নিয়ে যাওয়া যায়, সেই মানুষটির প্রতি সুবিচারই করা হবে। এইখানে যেটা করা উচিত, পজিশনটা এরকম যে একটা মেডিকেল বোর্ড বসবে নিরপেক্ষভাবে, সেই মেডিকেল বোর্ড একটা ডিসিশন নেবে, তারা অবজার্ভ করবে। আমরা এমনিতে জানি, দেখবেন একজন মানুষ যদি 5 বছর নিখোঁজ থাকে, বাড়ির লোক তার শ্রাদ্ধ করে দেয়। তাহলে 18 বছর যে পড়ে আছে কোমায়, তাকে মৃতই ঘোষণা করতে হবে। তার লাইফটুকু বাঁচিয়ে রেখে তাকে অমর্যাদা করার কোনো মানে হয় না, এটা আমার মনে হয় আর কি।
একটাই কন্ডিশন স্যার, যে প্রোভাইডের মিসইউজ না হয়।
অবশ্যই অবশ্যই অবশ্যই।
প্রপার্টির জন্য মানে ডাক্তারের সাথে একটা এতে গিয়ে, একটা মানে ইলিগাল আনডিউ সেটিংসে গিয়ে মানে তাকে মেরে দিল জাস্ট টু গ্র্যাব দ্য প্রপার্টি, তো দ্যাট
না,
শুড বি
এই জন্য
স্ট্রংলি প্রিভেন্টেড।
এই জন্যই
মানে
মেডিকেল
দিস
বোর্ডের
অল
কথা বলছি, এই জন্য আমি মেডিকেল বোর্ডের কথা বলছি এবং দীর্ঘদিন অবজারভেশনের কথা বলছি। একটা মেডিকেল বোর্ড না, একটা মেডিকেল বোর্ড সেটা ট্রিটমেন্ট করলো, 6 মাস পরে আবার অন্য একটা মেডিকেল বোর্ড, তাতে করে ওদের যে ইন্টারেস্ট, ব্যাড ইন্টেনশনের জায়গাটা কিন্তু আর থাকবে। আমি আমার পেপারটাতে বলেছি বিষয়টা। থ্যাংক ইউ ফর দি কোশ্চেন, থ্যাংক ইউ ব্রাদার, থ্যাংক ইউ।
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Professor Shobhik Chatterjee. And one question I will take up from the chat box, and I will request Professor Tapunde to answer in very short. The question was posted by Mujibur Rahman. He said that if somebody violates the code of conduct, then is there any treatment for the violators? So that is the
Yes,
question
yes,
that he
certainly.
posted.
Certainly. You know, there are several cases in higher education sector and education sector. The teachers are punished to refraining from them by getting the or ethical committees, ICC, etc. And you will get your negative reward by your negative behavior in respect of your profession. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So I thank all the participants who attended today's webinar, and also all the faculty members who have participated in the interactive session. And we have come to the end of today's webinar. May I now request Dr. Lipika Mondol, Head Department of Geography, to kindly deliver the vote of thanks and close the session.
Thank you, Dr. Sritoma Mishra. Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Dr. Lipika Mondal, feel honored to get this opportunity to extend my vote of thanks in this one-day webinar on universal human values and professional ethics for teaching professionals, organized by IQAC, ICC, Grievance Redressal Cell, and Disciplinary Committee of Belda College. I extend my sincere thanks to Dr. Manavendra Mundul, Chief Patron of today's program and Principal of Belda College, for encouraging us to organize this webinar. I extend my gratitude to our Honorable Speaker, Professor Tapan Kumar De, to take out his time from his very busy schedule. I am very much thankful to Professor De, Dean, Faculty Council for Postgraduate Studies in Arts and Commerce, and Professor Department of Philosophy, Vidyasagar University, for his thought-provoking motivational lecture. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
I extend my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Oshit Ponda, Chairman of this program and IQC Coordinator and HOD Department of English. I would like to extend my special thanks to Dr. Sritama Mishra, Assistant Professor, Department of Philosophy and member IQAC, for organizing this webinar in a beautiful manner. And I would like to extend my thanks to Joint Secretary of this program, Dr. Shaili Choudhury, and Assistant Professor, Department of Sociology, and HOD, Department of Sociology, for organizing this program. And I would like to extend my thanks to my colleagues, to all of my colleagues and all the participants who have joined with us from different colleges and universities from different parts of the country. I would like to mention one thing. Professor Tapan Kumar De has excellently touched upon how to cultivate the ideas and values and virtue in human behavior, and how did it impact in one's personal as well as professional life. He has explained meticulously the code of conducts and the do's and don'ts that should be implanted in teaching professions like honesty, trustworthiness, transparency, accountability, confidentiality, objectivity, respect, obedience to law, and loyalty. I'm sure our faculty members were really and all the participants were really benefited from your thought-provoking lecture. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. All the participants of this today's webinar. স্যার আপনাকে অনেক ধন্যবাদ জানাচ্ছি এবং আমরা পার্সোনালি এই প্ল্যাটফর্ম থেকে আপনাকে ইনভাইট করছি যে আমরা যখন লকডাউন ওভার হয়ে যাবে আপনাকে এই ধরনের এই সুন্দর আলোচনার জন্য আমাদের কলেজে আমরা আবার পাবো।
ধন্যবাদ, ধন্যবাদ। আপনারা সবাই ভালো থাকুন, আনন্দে থাকুন।
হ্যাঁ স্যার,
ধন্যবাদ,
আপনারা স্যার ভালো থাকুন এবং সকলে ভালো থাকুন, আনন্দে থাকুন। আমি এখানেই ওয়াইন্ড আপ করছি আজকের প্রোগ্রাম। ডক্টর শ্রীতমা মিশ্রা, আমি কি প্রোগ্রাম এন্ড করতে পারি?
একদম একদম।
ও
আই
আচ্ছা,
জাস্ট
তার আগে
একটা শর্ট নোট। হ্যাঁ,
ওয়ান থিং, ফিডব্যাক লিংক চ্যাট বক্সে দিয়ে দিতে হবে।
হ্যাঁ, দেয়া হয়ে গেছে। I just have a short note. May I request all the participants to please fill up the feedback link, uh, feedback form, the link of which is given in the chat box, and the link will remain active for 30 minutes from now.
Okay.
Okay, madam. You may please wind up.
So, thank you. Thank you.